from Hollywood and the four corners of the world. You asked for it. Starring Rich Little. Here's the star of You Asked For It, Rich Little.
Thank you, and welcome to the only show on television that goes anywhere in the world in 30 minutes because you asked for it. Tonight, Germany's Ball of Death. From Atlanta, a daredevil called Spiderman dances on a rope 75 stories high. Fred, the Cockatoo from TV's Beretta series, and much, much more. But first, the fearless war dogs of Belgium. Nazi soldiers feared them so much they tried to destroy the entire breed. These dogs are Bouvier. For courage and sheer determination, they may be the best dogs in the world. From Redlands, California, our Desiree Goyette has the story. Nancy Scott of Littleton, Colorado, you asked for it.
Bring him back, Kaz.
Rich, meet 4-year-old Horse and 3-year-old Kaz. They're two of the most valuable members of the Redlands Police Department. For pure athletic ability and courage, you just can't beat a Bouvier. Watch this one in action against a robbery suspect. These dogs have a bark and a bite that could scare the wits out of any criminal. But the Bouvier also has a special quality that can only be called heart. They'll take on jobs bigger dogs might shy away from, like clearing an 8-foot wall in a single bound. Now, they may weigh only 100 pounds or so, but they're packed with determination. Some of their breeding as herd dogs in Belgium comes into play here. They were used to round up cattle. It isn't often that a cow crosses a catwalk, but you can be sure if she did, the Bouvier wouldn't be far behind.
Good. They are a more laid-back dog, not quite as noisy or fiery as most of our other working breeds. They're a discriminate dog. They make decisions very well on their own. They are a protective dog. Seems to decide on how to attack, how hard to attack, much more so than we find in the other breeds of dogs.
And if that isn't enough, as impossible as it may seem, they tell me this little dog can even find his way straight up the side of that 12-foot wall.
Takes a dog with above average agility, but a dog that has a lot of confidence in his handler. When the dog sees this wall, he has no idea what's on the other side. And he's taking the confidence he has in his handler when he negotiates this wall for us.
As a true test of courage, these dogs are trained to attack even with the muzzle on. That's like asking you or me to beat somebody up with our hands tied. Well, after a day of watching these lovable dogs and seeing how readily they respond to their master's command, I even let one of them take a shot at me. Hello, Horse. This is Desiree Goyette, and this wonderful animal is a Bouvier, and we've met him today because Nancy Scott, you asked for it.
Ah, this is Paul Lamb. Oh, I just love attack dogs. In fact, just in case there's another war, I personally am training a pack of killer poodles. Woofy and Bowser. We'll be right back with Beretta's friend Fred, the killer Cockatoo, in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
And now back to Rich Little.
If you think you've got tax problems, how would you like to pay this bird's bill to Uncle Sam? He earns over $50,000 a year. Fred, the Cockatoo on the Beretta TV series, is just amazing. As a matter of fact, he's so valuable, he is a stunt bird who does all his own flying for him. From Hollywood, our Laura Louise has the story. Donald Barta of Akron, Ohio, you asked for it.
Rich, Fred has taken time off from his busy schedule to give us a bird's eye view of his stage act with his manager, Brian Renfro. This is the first time Fred has performed his complete act for television, so I am really excited. Fred's one of my favorite stars. Well, are you ready, Fred? Okay, well, let's get started.
Fred, would you say something to the nice audience in your little high, squeaky voice? Would you please say hello? Hello. That a boy. Now take a big bow. Take a bow. Thank you. Hey, Fred, how about a kiss? A kiss. One more. One more. Made my whole day right there. Can you find my nose? You couldn't miss it, could you? Hey, Fred, here's my favorite. Show me how you love me. Do you love me? Oh boy. Here's how we found out how smart he is. Hey, Fred, you see any handsome guys out there in the audience? You do? How about pretty girls? Do you see any pretty girls out there? Look them over.
Oh,
put your head on
you ought to
your
be
wing.
ashamed.
There,
Oh.
now wave to the nice audience, would you please? Atta boy. Now, I want you to put your little head right in my hand. What a bird. Get up here, show everybody you're the only bird in the world that talks upside down. Say something. Hello. All right. Now, if you watch the Beretta series, you know that every once in a while, Fred has to answer the telephone for Beretta. Would you do that for me, please? Hello. Atta boy. Some kind of answering service there, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, he knows some imitations. I'll see if I can get him to do them for you. His first one is a very small dog barking. Okay, Spot, bark. One more. That's a Chihuahua. Now you have a terrible cold. I want you to cough. 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 Cough again. Okay, that's a Chihuahua with a cold. Now here's his imitation of a windshield wiper. All right, do a windshield wiper. Now here's my favorite. He does a chicken. Okay, turkey, do your chicken.
That's great. Good.
And in case you don't recognize this one, this is his imitation of a big crazy eagle posing. Big crazy eagle. Pose.
Yay.
There we go.
Well, that's a great act, Fred, but what do you plan on doing the rest of the day?
Well, this is what he usually does.
Well, you deserve a little relaxation, Fred. The life of a star isn't easy, Donald Barta of Akron, Ohio, but we're here because you asked for it.
This is Jack Nicholson. You know, I used to have a Mexican cockatoo named Juan. And my ambition was to get him to fly over the Capitol building in Washington. And one day he did it, too. That's right. Juan flew over the cuckoo's nest. And now here's Jack Smith to tell us about another great performer. Jack?
Thank you, Rich. The mark of a truly great performer is his willingness to go beyond what anyone has attempted before. Now, as a boy in Germany, Don Ascarez witnessed an act called The Ball of Death. But it was done as a trick. There was no one inside the ball, as the billing of the show indicated. Well, then and there, Don determined to perform that feat for real. And when you see what we filmed in 1957, you'll understand why others simply faked it. Germany's Ball of Death.
The ball will roll down that long chute, doing a complete loop 20 feet in the air and land in the net, starting at the top of that high rig. And it comes down plenty fast, as you'll see. And here to perform this strange feat, Don Ascarez. winch draws this aluminum globe 3 feet in diameter to the top. Ascarez will crouch inside, strapped to a rotating seat as the ball makes its spinning descent. Now, as a boy, he saw this same act, but as a trick. The ball was actually empty. He determined to someday do it right inside the ball, and once grown, he put his dream into action. The real danger is in the loop, where the force of gravity drives him out with terrific power. He had to learn to hold his breath, stiffen himself against the shock. And today, here in Dortmund, Germany, he appears in a special performance for our You Asked For It cameras. A small opening, barely wide enough for him to get inside, curled in a tiny revolving seat. Strapped tightly inside a 3-foot ball. He gives the seat a brief test. And the cover goes on. He's sealed inside. Now, Don Ascarez rides the ball of death. Once again in slow motion. Assistant quickly onto the net to help him out. And now that the act is perfected, he'll return to the ball many times to thrill the crowds of Europe, just as we in America have thrilled to the performance of Don Ascarez.
Boy, what some people will do, huh?
Uh-huh.
I'll bet, Jack, he had a ball doing that.
Yeah, over and over and over.
Right. Coming up, Spiderman weaves a web of suspense as he dances down the side of a 75-story skyscraper at 90 miles an hour. I gotta see this. We will be back.
And now back to Rich Little.
700 feet above the streets, one slim rope and Spiderman's dance of death. Ben Colley is not a professional stuntman. He's a window washer. Ben is going to dance his way down the building to the 25th floor. Then he will propel himself out away from the building, drop like a stone, and try to land safely on the street below. He's doing it exclusively for our You Asked For It cameras. Jack Smith describes the action because C.H. Wells of Atlanta, you asked for it.
Atlanta's Peachtree Plaza is 75 stories high, a challenging place to wash windows, but terrifying as a setting for the daring stunt that you're about to see. The concrete retaining wall at the bottom, 50 feet from the building. Now keep this wall in mind, because when Ben Colley drops down the side of the building, he will have to clear the retaining wall or risk serious injury. Ben uses only a mountain climbing rope and a pulley. His skill with this equipment has earned him his nickname Spiderman. It's his only equipment. No net, no other protection.
I think there's a lot of apprehension when I get ready to do this thing. It begins to build from the time I leave the ground till the time I get to the roof. One day I'm going to actually wake up and my nerve will be gone, and that's the day I'm going to quit.
Spiderman will drop at 90 miles an hour in his final flight to the ground, so his hands need the protection of 2 thick welding gloves to shield them from the burning friction of the rope. Elton, his assistant, is his backup crew. Elton presides over a last safety check of the ropes, while Ben prepares himself mentally for what's to come. And now, on the ledge more than 700 feet above the streets, he will carefully work his way over the ledge. As you watch his descent, you will see Ben's total dependence upon that thin thread of rope, which is his only support.
The first time I went over the building, it took me about 20 minutes to talk myself off the roof. Once I get out of arm reach of Elton, then I know that there's no way but down.
Spiderman will work his way downward now toward the point 50 stories below, from which he will make his final desperate leap. He starts slowly, testing himself, loosening his muscles. Ben is not a professional daredevil. He's the owner of a window washing company specializing in tall buildings. He does this feat once a year on each 4th of July, but today he's doing it just for You Asked For It. Now, when he launches himself from the 25th floor, remember that he must propel himself far enough away from the face of the building to clear the retaining wall.
I have about, I guess 2 or 3 seconds to make sure that I've got enough distance from the building to where I'm going to clear that 50-foot overhang out there, and then once I've committed myself, I've got to go for the ground.
He picks up speed now, dropping from ledge to ledge, working his way toward his final departure point. And now he's there, a tiny dot on the face of that massive structure. He pauses, gathering his strength, and now he's dropping at 90 miles an hour.
Go, 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 go!
He did it. His hands are hot from the friction of the rope, but he made it. A successful drop. But why did Ben do it?
Because you asked for it.
And just how long can a guy wait for an elevator? These beautiful rugs are a dream come true for a courageous American widow now living and working in a small town in Ecuador. Following the Vietnam War, Janine Roberson's husband spent some time in a military hospital. And there he learned the craft of rug weaving, and that's where our story began. Today in a village in Ecuador, there's a thriving business dedicated to his memory. Well, we flew our Georgette Aruba to Ecuador because Mrs. Corinne Chadwick of Beaumont, Texas, you asked for it.
Rich, we're in Ambato, Ecuador, a town known for its handmade rugs. And one of the reasons this happens to be true is the presence of an American who's been here since 1963. Her name is Janine Roberson, head of Cornelius Enterprises, a flourishing business which produces beautiful rugs, beginning with the raw wool and ending with the finished product. Janine's husband was a disabled veteran who learned rug weaving in a rehabilitation program. They came to Ecuador to relax until something happened. Janine's husband passed away in 1970, and she has kept the business going by herself. At the Cornelius factory, the raw wool is processed for the weavers, beginning with washing and ending with carding and spinning.
The wool in this area is very good because it's a very long fiber. It is a very coarse fiber, which is necessary for the rugs.
The rugs are thick-piled and heavy, with modern-looking patterns that are usually adapted from native South American motifs. But all of the rugs are now custom-made, so that a customer can get one in any design he wants. A 4x6 rug costs only about $400. A room-size rug, somewhere around $1,000.
You will not find workers that work on hand-loomed rugs in this area. We train all of our workers.
The actual knotting of the rug is amazing to watch. 4 women are seated at a loom, tying knot after knot at a speed that's hard to believe. In between rows of knots, strands of cotton are woven in to build up the base of the rug. They tie up to 6,000 knots for every square foot of rug. This one will take a month to complete. Janine Roberson has found happiness in another country, helping others to work and creating things of beauty. Things that you've seen because you asked for it.
You know, the industry started by that woman in her husband's memory has raised the standard of living for a lot of people in Ambato, Ecuador. So hang on to your dreams. They have a way of moving the world towards a better future.
We'll be right back with more. And now back to Rich Little.
That's our show for tonight. See you next time on... Good night, everybody.
This is John Harlan speaking. You Asked For It is a Sandy Frank production.